My sister, who's always been the family's favorite, insisted I surrender my wedding venue to her, and my parents backed her up. Last week, at a family barbecue hosted by my parents, my sister announced she was pregnant in the middle of the gathering. Everyone was thrilled for her, and amidst the excitement, she publicly asked me if she could have my wedding venue for her own wedding, claiming it was stunning and she was too overwhelmed to plan her own. This venue is where my fiancé and I are set to marry in a few months, a place we waited 3 years to secure. Everyone assumed I'd agree, but I calmly stated that despite my love for her, she couldn't have it. She burst into tears and stormed away. Immediately, my grandmother scolded me, saying I was selfish because my sister needed the venue more. I tried to explain my side, but my mom chimed in. "You waited 3 years? Couldn't you wait a few more months? When has your sister ever asked you for anything?" After a few more remarks, my fiancé got furious, and we left before he lost his temper completely. Later, my sister called me sobbing, accusing me of always getting my way and saying I could have done this one thing for her. My brother-in-law called afterward, apologizing for the situation. He said he'd spoken with my sister, who admitted she wasn't supposed to ask. He was upset with her and warned me she was blaming me for potentially destroying her marriage, though he believed she'd caused the issue herself. My dad sent me multiple texts like, "I hope you're pleased. Your sister hasn't stopped crying since yesterday." My fiancé and I decided to remove my sister from the bridal party, replacing her with my aunt, the only family member who supported me. We're still debating whether to invite my family at all. To make matters worse, my mom called my fiancé's parents, telling them it would be better if my sister got the venue because she's pregnant. My future father-in-law told her to back off, angrily pointing out how absurd their request was and warning that their favoritism could cost them their relationship with me. Now my mom's crying too, calling my father-in-law rude. This whole situation feels like a cheap drama series. My in-laws are on their way to our place with dinner and wine, reassuring me not to worry and promising to be my support system no matter what. Update 1. My sister kept pestering me about the venue, insisting I was unfair, that we're family, and that she asked politely out of love. She sent a long message about family loyalty and how I should support her instead of being selfish. I responded with a single text. "I'm sorry you feel that way. I'm exhausted from always giving in to you. My whole life, I've been your shadow, doing whatever you wanted. Remember how I had to share my birthdays because you'd throw fits if you didn't get gifts? Or when you cried until I filled out your job applications because you were too lazy to write your own resume? And Mom backed you up. But what hurt most was when you hijacked my graduation. You said it wasn't fair I got all the attention, so you wore an extravagant dress our parents bought you, made a cake for yourself, put up your own decorations, and insisted on being in every photo. I'm done. I've enabled you too, but no more. If you want to marry before your baby arrives, find a hotel that does last-minute weddings. I've spent years planning my wedding, and I'm not handing it over. If you want to destroy our relationship over this, that's your choice. I'll rest easy knowing it's not my fault." Her only reply was, "Wow, you really care about me, don't you?" And she blocked me. This morning, she unblocked me to forward a message from the wedding planner. "Hello, dear. I received your mother's message and will proceed with rebooking the venue. There will be additional costs to change the contract names. Please visit my office tomorrow to sign the new agreement." My parents haven't contacted me since the incident with my father-in-law. My older brother reached out, confused by a strange story from our parents. Mom told him I'd previously offered to give my sister the venue, and then humiliated her. I explained the truth, and he believed me without hesitation. We discussed our parents' behavior, and he admitted moving away partly because of their unfair treatment. He said Mom was furious, accusing me of betraying the family. We called the planner, who was appalled. She confirmed she hadn't spoken to my mom since we booked the venue and assured us that no changes could be made without my presence. We alerted everyone involved in our wedding, and they offered discounted security for the day. Update 2. My sister started attacking me on Facebook, posting passive-aggressive comments and claiming I've made her depressed. Her friends sent me messages calling me cruel for how I treated her. I blocked all the harassment, and my sister too. But 2 days ago, her best friend egged my car. I called the police, and my nosy but kind neighbor, who loves watching the street, identified the culprit. After days of silence, my parents asked to meet and talk things out. I was cautious but agreed to have them over with my fiancé. When they arrived, my mom looked like she'd been crying, and I felt guilty for about 10 minutes. Turns out, my sister's behavior is baseless. No medical issues, no diagnosis, nothing. We started with awkward small talk before diving into the issue. My dad asked why we canceled the caterers, and my fiancé explained we didn't want anything they could use against us. Dad acted offended, saying he'd never do that. But I countered, "Better safe than sorry." My mom called me disrespectful for my tone. I called them disrespectful for everything they'd said and done recently. The venue argument resurfaced, and my dad repeated that it shouldn't matter where I get married, only who I'm marrying. I shot back, "Exactly, Dad. But isn't it strange that only applies to me and not my sister? As long as she's marrying her fiancé, the venue shouldn't matter, right?" Silence. My dad turned red, struggling to respond, while my mom quietly cried. I pressed, "I'm waiting for your explanation." My dad slammed the table, ranting about family and sacrifice, saying a loving family does everything to make each other happy. I replied, "Like how you made me happy on my graduation? When my sister ruined my cake because she wasn't the center of attention?" More silence. My mom whispered, "Why do you hate us so much?" I looked at her and said, "I could ask you the same thing." They had no response. They knew they'd messed up but wouldn't admit it. My mom tried guilt-tripping me, saying my sister was miserable and hadn't left the house because of public judgment. My dad claimed my sister, as the youngest, needed more attention, excusing her actions. I told them I was hurt by their obvious favoritism, that they didn't even hide their preference for her. My mom insisted, "That's not true. We love you all equally." I wasn't buying it. I pulled out a list on my phone, detailing every instance I could recall of them prioritizing my sister over me. It was extensive, with dates and specific events. When I finished, my parents were visibly shaken, red-faced and close to tears. They tried to argue I was wrong, but I said the conversation was pointless. I gave them an ultimatum: arrange family counseling and apologize, or they're uninvited to the wedding. They left and haven't reached out since. Update 3. My parents didn't back down. They painted me as the villain, blaming me for my sister's depression and her failing relationship. It escalated to the point where I had to block them and change my number because they were using relatives' phones to contact me. It was exhausting, especially during what should have been a joyful time. My sister and her friends continued harassing me on social media, so I deleted my accounts. My husband's family, friends, and my brother supported me through it. I cut off every family member who criticized me for keeping my wedding date. My grandmother showed up days before the wedding, pleading to attend. We had a long talk and she apologized, though she still didn't fully understand my stance. She didn't want to push me and just wanted to be there. We reconciled, but our relationship isn't the same. The bachelorette party was incredible, with cooking until dawn and a gorgeous 3-tiered cake my husband made. Wedding day. The morning was calm and joyful, but as we took pre-ceremony photos at the venue, I saw my sister's car pull up. A friend rushed to get security. My sister was furious, screaming insults and blaming me for her fiancé leaving her. She seemed unhinged, and I couldn't help but pity her. The venue's morning sprinklers had left the ground muddy. As my sister bent to throw mud at me in my dress, my maid of honor tackled her, sending her into the flower bed. Security escorted her out moments later. That gave me grounds to file a restraining order. I didn't want to involve the police further, I just wanted her gone. The rest of the day was perfect. I married my best friend, my rock, my everything. My brother walked me down the aisle, and the vows had everyone in tears. The reception was a blast. My husband and his groomsmen performed a choreographed dance to a Taylor Swift song, and the speeches were hilarious. I missed my parents, but it couldn't be helped. We went on our honeymoon, and afterward, I started looking for jobs in another city. I didn't want to leave my friends, but I needed a fresh start. I landed a position at a university in a larger city, and we're now moving. The biggest, most cliché news? I'm pregnant. A classic honeymoon baby. I've only heard updates about my family through others. My sister moved back in with my parents, refuses to work, and still tells everyone I caused her breakup and tried to ruin her reputation. My grandmother said my parents look worn out, dealing with my sister's childish behavior. Their parenting choices are catching up to them. It hurts to lose family, but cutting out toxic people was the best decision. I'm truly happy now. If this story hit home, please like, share, and follow for more real-life drama. Your support keeps these stories coming. Thanks for reading, and catch you in the next one.